It was an early Monday morning in March. Texas had come alive with the drips of bluebonnets and mild, warm days. Graduation was in another 2 months, and Della Joan Cambion could hardly wait to get to school. It wasn't just that soon she'd have her diploma and real life could begin for her as a recognized adult in the world. She had a growing interest in Ryan Major, a new boy who had transferred from North Dallas a few weeks earlier. Even though she always went lightly on makeup, often using none at all, today she decided to try a new shade of lipstick. What could it hurt? Besides, her color seemed to be off. Her natural olive complexion looked sallow. She tried opening the curtains on the windows in her room, letting in the morning light, and looking in the mirror again, but her skin still seemed to be some horrid shade of yellow-brown. Applying the lipstick and hoping it would brighten her entire look, Dell paused when she saw the lesion on the back of her right forearm reflected in the mirror. She sat at her dressing table, stunned, her mother calling from the hall, warning that her primping would make her late for the school bus. Again. Dell didn't answer her mother. She couldn't. Her arm was frozen. CoverGirl burnt sienna poised just a whisper from the mid-curve of her top lip. She blinked, slowly lowered her arm, and let the lipstick roll from her fingers. That's how her mother found her, staring like Narcissus at her own image. "Dell, honey, what's the matter?" In place of words, Dell raised her right arm until the mirror caught the pink festering oval of flesh. Her mother approached slowly and stared down into the mirrored reflection. "Mom?" Her mother reached out one hand as if she would touch the lesion, but her fingers danced in the air before disappearing from sight. It's just... Mom, will you look me over? Are there more? Are they everywhere?" Suddenly, Dell pushed back from the dressing table. In no time, she had her blue sweatshirt pulled high above and then over her head. As she lowered her arms to rip the shirt off, her mother caught and held her tightly. She was imprisoned by the sleeves, held in a position that afforded no movement. "Don't, honey. Does it mean... Will I be like you now? Mom." She felt tears well, and the room blurred. Over her mother's shoulder, she could see her own face in the mirror. It was as if she had never really looked at herself before, as if who she saw reflected was a stranger. She was not just sallow. She was sick. She could feel an irritation on her left shoulder. Now that she was concentrating on her body, she felt what might be another lesion on the back of her right knee. They were all over her. Evidence of disease at work. "Let me go, Mom." Her mother released her, and she threw off the shirt and began turning and twisting to look over her body. It was not as if she thought this day might never come. Of her immediate family, she was the last to contract the disease. They had all pretended it had skipped her. She might be spared. Others were. Her Aunt Celia hadn't ever gotten sick. Sometimes a few escaped their destiny, but very few. The lesions indicated the beginning of a mutated form of a rare blood disease the medical community called porphyria. Next would come the terrible sensitivity to sunlight. Then the lips would feel paralyzed and betray her, so that she could not even smile. It would all pass swiftly. What took the real disease of porphyria decades to do to an afflicted human, the mutated virus would do to her within days. The horror of it was enough to bear, more than enough to make her raving mad. But even worse was not knowing if she would turn into a predator, a craven, or a natural, like those in her family. No one could predict the outcome of the process until the disease had run its course. Once her mother let her go, Dell sagged onto the edge of her bed. She felt panic ruling her, causing her mind to race out of control. She hardly knew what to do. How was she to control an event that was rushing toward chaos? She asked herself. "There's no point in checking anymore," she said in a resigned voice. "I feel one on my shoulder and another behind my knee. I can sense things. If I can tell where they are without looking, then I'm sick, and that's all there is to it." She lay down on the unmade bed, pulling her legs up and hugging them. She still had on jeans and shoes, but she didn't care. She heard the school bus outside, heard it brake with a hiss, and after a minute move on without her.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.